am Professor Jim, and I have quite literally been created to help James preset films. I am speaking to you today from the International Virtual Research IMVU Laboratories. And on this occasion I've been told that we're explaining and revealing the mystery with dystrophy. Actually it's dystrophine, but that don't rhyme so good. James has a condition known as Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy. It is called Duchenne, as it was first investigated by a French neurologist called Guillaume Benjamin Duchenne in 1861. So thanks there to the Frenchman. So what is DMD? In really simple terms, it is a lack of, as in there is none, as in absolutely none at all of dystrophin within an individual. Dystrophin is an essential protein that is contained within the human genome. We are born with our dystrophin. If it's missing at birth, we can blame our parents, in fact mothers. But this is not always the case, as about 30% of diagnosed males are in fact spontaneously mutated. What it does is, anchors muscle fibers together, so that the muscle will stay strong and formed. Without dystrophin, the muscle fibers begin to slowly waste away, but this can take years. Dystrophin cannot be manufactured or donated. So once James starts losing his superhuman strength, he cannot find supplementary replacements, unlike Popeye who can soup up his strength with a dose of spinach. That's all for the biology lesson, folks. Join us next time where the chair takes the leading role. Oh hello, didn't see you there. As you can see, my workshop looks just great. But, we're not here to talk about car mechanics, or view my workshop accessories. We are actually here to talk about James's wheelchair. The wheelchair is an essential part of James's life. Without one, well, he just wouldn't get anywhere, would he? As it's so important, James needs new wheelchairs every few years. They wear out over time. James batters them about doing sedate things like football. James has to go to assessments every now and again, and on this occasion, it's at Millbrook Healthcare. Millbrook are makers and constructors of wheelchairs and rehabilitation equipment. Later, we will see this man build James's new chair, but before getting the new chair, James has to go and get sized up. He is able to get chair upgrades through his kids. They are a charity that deal with the assessment and funding of wheelchairs for children in the UK. I guess James must still be looking really youthful to still be winging free wheelchairs. Has no one told him he's now 45 years old? Haha, only joking, James, you don't look a day older than 21. In this next film, we have a montage of James being assessed, sized, hugged, fondled and generally manhandled for a full-on 2 hours, and I gotta say, he looks bored before he even starts. So, how is it assembled? For this, we go over to our man Steve Gotham for a short demonstration of a wheelchair construction. Over to you.
My name's Steve Gotham. I'm the wheelchair maintenance supervisor for Millbrook Healthcare in Plymouth. My intention today is to strip down and build up a Spectra Plus wheelchair for James Marley. What I want to try to do is to start at the back, work our way down, take the seat out, take the arms off, take the batteries out, then take the wheels and motors off, and then we should be able to reconstruct it.
Hi and welcome to Act 3. This is
the voice of the real James. Thanks there to my subs for the biology lesson. And Parachair Top Gear. I wonder if Clarkson will be test driving my new wheels. I'm told it gets up to 8 miles per hour. Whoop whoop. But now to matters concerning the NHS. I'm both reliant and grateful for what is available to me, as I have to now use several thousand quid's worth of kit on a daily basis. So the next bit of the film is an interview with John Palmer, my very own Florence Nightingale, in which John does a really good job of explaining his role and demonstrating some of the machines with me as his victim. Who are you and what is your role?
I'm John Palmer and I'm a consultant nurse here at Derriford Hospital, and I manage patients on home ventilation. So that really involves my diagnosing, managing, treating and supporting patients at home who need machines to help them breathe overnight and or in the daytime.
Can you explain what a BiPAP is?
So some people have problems taking deep breaths overnight or in the daytime, but generally when patients first have this problem, it will develop it overnight. Okay, so they have a problem getting enough air in and out of their lungs. So if you have poor breathing muscles, for instance, like you would in Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy, as you go to sleep, the muscles go to sleep, and the muscles that work your breathing are affected by the Duchenne's, and you're just not able to get that breath in and out. So therefore, overnight, your oxygen level falls and your waste gas level builds up, so you have a pretty poor night's sleep. So you feel pretty rough and tired the next day. Now, long term, that's not very good for you, having those low oxygen levels, but short term, you're feeling pretty rough. Okay, so your quality of life goes down. What a BiPAP machine does is it's a small machine which has a mask over the patient's nose or mouth and nose. And it's a little compressor machine which monitors the patient's own breathing, so that when the patient breathes, the patient gets a breath in, and when the patient breathes out, the patient gets a breath out. So it supports the patient's own breathing, giving them deeper breaths, keeping the oxygen levels higher, and keeping the carbon dioxide levels lower. So patients breathe better, sleep better, and have a better quality of life. So there's a group of patients with a muscle weakness, so that Duchenne's is an obvious example of that. That's the type of patients we use BiPAP for.
So that's why you may see me about the place with a tube stuck to my nose. Can you imagine a machine that is designed to suck out your sticky greenies and cost £5,000? Well, here's John again talking about cough assist. What's a cough assist?
Okay, so as well as using BiPAP machines for patients in particular with neuromuscular disease, we also use something called a cough assist. Now, if you've got weak respiratory muscles, like you've got neuromuscular disease, you've got Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy, for instance, you may well have a problem getting enough air in and out during a cough. If you've got weak inspiratory muscles, so the muscles are breathing in, if they're weak because of Duchenne's, you're not going to be able to take a deep breath in. So if you can't take a deep breath in, you can't force that breath out. Also, if you've got weak expiratory muscles, then you can't force the breath out even if you can take it in. So that does two things. So first of all, you can't take enough breath in to form a cough. Secondly, you haven't got enough muscle strength to force it out. So you can't clear your phlegm. So symptomatically, sometimes patients who've got neuromuscular disease and have got weak breathing muscles would have a problem with coughing, and that would cause them some symptoms of feeling like they've got phlegm stuck in their throat or in their lungs. Okay, so symptomatically it's not very nice. You can feel like you're choking. More importantly, if you can't cough and you can't get rid of phlegm, bits of lung can get blocked off. And if a big bit of lung got blocked off because we're not getting rid of the phlegm, then that could make you feel very breathless and can make you quite unwell because your oxygen level could dip very rapidly. Particularly if, of course, like in neuromuscular disease, you haven't got much air going in and out anyway. And finally, over a period of time, if you're not able to take a deep breath in, the lungs lose their sponginess. And if your lungs lose their sponginess, the bottoms of the lungs start closing over, so even then it's even more difficult to get the next breath in, and you can get infection in the bases of your chest. So we use the cough assist. It's similar to a BiPAP machine, but what it does is it blows air in, similar type of mask, blows air in really high pressure, and then it swings from high pressure in to high pressure out. So you've got blowing in and then suction. So you alternate between like hair dryer, blowing in air, and then a vacuum cleaner breathing out. So that gets air in behind the secretions, expands the lungs and gets rid of any phlegm. So it's good for patients symptomatically, but also helps them long term. One of the things that's improving length of life, i.e. the time people can live with Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy, is BiPAP, because patients used to have problems with respiratory failure much earlier in their disease process because they weren't using BiPAP machines because we didn't have them or they weren't given them. So now anyone who has problems with breathing overnight or in the daytime because of Duchenne Muscular Dystrophy would always have a BiPAP machine because it helps keep them well, makes them feel better, and improves survival significantly.
So viewers, there you have it. This has been Duchenne Me. Watch this space for my next films. Stem cells and me. Or you're never alone with a clone. Bye for now. Oh, I'm needed. Mom, gotta go.